Once upon a time in a grand palace, there lived 3 princesses. Their names were Elena, Luna, and Ruby. Elena was the eldest and had long, red hair that cascaded down her back. One day, as the sisters were walking through the palace gardens, they overheard some maids talking.
Did you see Elena's hair? It's so red, it looks like fire.
One maid exclaimed.
Yeah, and her skin is so pale, she looks like a ghost.
Another maid giggled. The sisters stopped in their tracks, hurt by the maid's words.
Why did they make fun of me?
Elena asked, tears welling up in her eyes.
I don't know, but we won't let them get to you.
Lily said, putting her arm around Rose. But Elena couldn't shake off the hurtful words. The next day, the sisters were out for a walk again when they came across a witch. She was sitting by a pond, muttering to herself.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Luna said politely.
Do you need any help?
The witch looked up and smiled at the sisters.
Why, yes, I do. I am looking for some rare herbs to make a potion, but I cannot leave the spot. Would you be so kind as to gather them for me?
The sisters agreed and went to gather the herbs. As they were picking them, Elena came across a rare flower that she had never seen before.
Look at this.
She exclaimed, holding up the flower.
It's beautiful.
A fairy appeared and said, that is a very rare flower indeed. It is said to have magical powers. Elena's sisters were intrigued.
What kind of powers?
Luna asked. It is said that whoever possesses this flower will have the power to change anyone who has wronged them, the fairy explained. Without hesitation, Elena plucked the flower and held it tightly in her hand. Later that day, as the sisters were having tea in the palace gardens, the maids passed by, snickering at Elena once again. But this time, Elena stood up and held out the flower towards the maids.
How about we turn the tables on you instead?
She said confidently. The maids were afraid, not understanding what she meant. But then they saw Elena's hair slowly turn from red to a bright, fiery orange. Her skin glowed with a warm, golden light.
What is happening?
One maid stammered.
I think she's a witch.
Another maid shrieked, running away in fear. The sisters laughed and Elena's confidence grew. From that day on, the maids never dared to mock her again. They were now afraid of her. Elena's sisters were amazed by her newfound powers and they no longer saw her as an outcast. They were proud to call her their sister and they lived happily ever after in the palace.